Welcome to the Black Flash Boxing channel. Today we're joined by Emanuel
Odiase.
Odiase, because I
Yes.
keep on getting it wrong, Odiase,
Yes.
who is a prospect heavyweight boxer. Emmanuel, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into boxing.
Well, thank you for having me. Um, telling you about myself. So, I was born in Heidelberg, Germany. I grew up in the same city. It's like a small town, very beautiful. Um, Three older brothers. My father's from Nigeria, mom's German, and yeah, I was being brought up with like key elements. Like my parents taught me love, respect are the most important things in life. So I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, about me getting into boxing, I was growing up with playing football all the time because all of my brothers were playing football. And my father kind of wanted us to become professional footballers because he knew how life hard is for a black person in Germany as well, in Europe, all over the world. So he wanted us to become famous through football. So yeah, I was playing football for like most of my years. And when I turned 15 or 16, my oldest brother took me to the boxing gym. So I started boxing, and it was funny because the first session we had, they brought me to spar. Like I never hit the heavy bag or anything. First session they brought me to spar without mouth guard, anything. So I was just learning it straight up. It was like a street fight, but with gloves on. So Box Club Heidelberg, that's where I started. And respect to all the coaches, all them guys, because I fell in love with it right from the very start.
And
Yeah.
thrown in straight at the deep end as well.
Yeah, it was crazy. It's like a movie. Like you come in, I've been a footballer, like I've been a tall kid already, but really skinny, and they throw me into the ring, and I just start throwing punches, getting punched as well. I think my jaw cracked in the first session, but yeah, just rolling with the punches, and I never quit. Now I'm here.
So going
Yeah.
back to your, your core family values, you mentioned about your father saying he wanted you guys to either be professional footballers, get into, sport, because he believed that was the only way that you guys could succeed.
Mhm.
Talk to us a little bit about that. You've mentioned obviously it's tough
Mhm.
for black guys in Germany,
Mhm.
black people in Germany, in Europe.
Mhm.
Talk to me a little bit about that and your dad's like kind of like his foundation, his undertone of why he wanted to push you into sport so much rather
Mhm.
than say go
Yeah.
to university,
Yeah.
get a degree, become a
Yeah.
lawyer, become an engineer.
Yeah.
Why sports?
Well, don't get it wrong. It was like my mistake saying it, but my father wanted us to go to school as well. He wanted us to get a proper degree, go university, but it was like always that big thing, football. Growing up, he felt like racism in his life. I'm pretty sure. I remember he telling me a story where it was in Germany, and there was a guy working where he was working for, and he was telling my father, "You know why you're here in Germany? To work." So that was life for my father. It's just hard work. He was doing hard work all the time. So mad respect to my father for bringing up like four beautiful children. And yeah, he knew sports is gonna be the way out for one of us. I think because we were all talented in football. I played in the second highest division when I was young, and we was all mad talented. Got good genetics, of course, and yeah, so that was he was looking at sports for a ticket to get out, but to be honest, he didn't want me to become a boxer. When I
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, when I started boxing, my father was like, "Why are you doing that? You just destroying your brain, like
Okay.
brain cells." And he wanted me to go school, but I was always like, "Nah, I'm gonna do it," because when I put my mind to something, I want to achieve it, and I'm gonna achieve it because I know so many people been doubting me from the start, um, and I'm still here, still going strong. So I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm very confident. Yeah.
When you talk about people doubting you from the start, tell me a little bit about that, your experience of let's say, one for a better word, the doubters, your words, the doubters. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, well, I had people supporting me. It was like, for instance, my older brother who brought me into the sport. He was always there for me, supporting me all the time. He was believing in me, always pushed me, coming to training, even when I was tired from school or whatever. Told me, come training. So the doubters, well, got loads of doubters. Like, it's a crazy story because I was fighting for my first German championships in 2000. Let me get it right. 2018, and I was losing my fight because I wasn't still 2 years into boxing, and I was fighting a strong guy, the guy who's gonna go to the Olympics now in Germany. Um, and after the fight, nobody wanted to talk to me. Like nobody of team from my team, Baden-Württemberg back then, wanted to talk to me. Even before the fight, it was crazy because I was doing pets with a guy, with a coach, and I've hit like the wrong combination, and that can happen in boxing. But he was shouting at me in front of the whole team, bringing me down, and then I was feeling so bad because I didn't even want to fight, and so I went into the ring, still
In
doing
that
my thing.
mindset.
Yeah, still doing my thing, and just I was losing because I wasn't good enough back then, and my mind was gone. I didn't want to fight. I wanted to go home. Still very young. So after that fight, I was crushed. I was like sitting down on the floor, thinking of all the stuff because I knew when I get home, my father was gonna be like, "I told you, stop boxing, go school," and I couldn't say nothing against it because I was losing. You get what I'm saying? So that was like the lowest moment in my life, losing that fight. And I had two chances, two directions to go. Either stop boxing, go for school, get a normal job, 9 to 5, or continue and get stronger. And that's what I've done. Continue, get stronger, and now I'm here. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was, sorry for cutting you
No,
short,
you
but
carry
that
on.
was crazy as well because the same year my brother was going prison. My oldest brother, who brought me into boxing, was going prison, and like there was loads of stuff going on in my life when that fight happened. So my brother went prison, and I remember visiting him like 4 weeks later, and he was asking me how my fight went, and I told him I lost it, and I could see in his eyes he was feeling so empty
Hurt. Yeah.
because like he was still hoping for me to go somewhere in life because he made mistakes, and I couldn't tell him that I won, and I felt so empty in that moment. And right after that, I told myself I'm never gonna lose again. And yeah, I've been doing my thing ever since.
So touching on that about visiting your brother in prison, your brother, brought you into boxing in the first place. He was sort of like, I don't know, your beacon of hope. He wasn't there for the match. You had that horrible time. Then you went and saw him, and you get to tell him, you lost, but you made the decision. Then, okay, I'm going to stick to this, and I'm never going to lose again. So talk me through what's happened since.
Well, what's happened since is after the fight, I knew I had to make changes in my life because I was training and I was motivated before, but it was not with full, like my whole heart, you know what I'm saying? So I knew I had to make a change, and I did because I wanted to come to the UK back then after the loss because I didn't want to fight for Germany no more because it was my first experience with like trainers that are not my coaches, and it was bad, like horrible. So I didn't want to fight for those guys no more. So that's the crazy part where it really gets deep right now, and I have never told nobody before, only the people that know. So court was coming up for my brother, and my brother was talking about his life and telling, like, you got to tell personal stuff in court as well. So he was telling people about his brothers. So he was talking about me, and he told the people that I'm a boxer and I'm training at the Olympiasystem, we call it, like Olympic Center in Heidelberg. So when the court stopped, like there was a break outside, a lawyer came up to me because it was like 5 people getting sentenced there, and the lawyer came up to me and said, yo, listen, my name is Heiko Hofstetter. I'm a lawyer in this case, and I'm a boxing manager as well. And I was like, okay, sounds interesting. He said, how tall are you? I said, 6'8". He said, sounds interesting. What's your weight? I said, like around 100 kgs, because I was very skinny back then. He said, as well, sounds interesting. And he told me he's managing one boxer at the moment, which I knew. I knew the name of the boxer. And he told me he has contacts to Hamburg, to Bernd Bönte, the old manager of the Klitschkos. So that was really sparking my interest. Because, as I told you before, after the loss, I wanted to go to the UK, start new, start over, get new coaches, anything. Just wholehearted
Clean
boxing.
start.
Yeah. And I wanted to get away from all the trouble in Germany as well, because it was hard for me, like my brother in prison and everything. So when he said that he has contacts to Hamburg, I was like, that was giving me new hopes, like new hope. And I'm thinking God is always like opening new doors for you when you have a plan or a mission that is coming from with clear, pure intentions. So we change contacts, or how do you call it, like
Exchange numbers.
exchange numbers.
Yeah.
We stayed in touch, and 4 years and not 4 years, 4 weeks later, I was already in Hamburg training. So I had 1 week training with the coach there, and I met Bernd, the manager from the Klitschkos, just have a chat with him. He was watching me training, and the coach told him, yeah, I'm talented. I can honestly, like the coach said, he can see a future for me. Like, I got talent. So we started working together. So after that, that was like beginning of 2019. And then I moved to Hamburg, and everything changed. Boxing training 2 times a day, strength and conditioning training. I got stronger. I put on weight. I gained like 15 kgs. At the beginning, it was like 10 kgs, and then 8 more coming up now. So I got 118 kgs right now. I started working on fundamentals with the coach, Christian Morales. I respect the guy so much because he was seeing things in me that weren't there back then, but still he saw my talent. Yeah, he saw potential and talent. And yeah, so I signed the contract to my manager group, Pux, back then, which is the lawyer I met in Heidelberg. He's leading the group. So that's a great, crazy story, I think. And till to this day, I'm thankful. I'm thanking God every day that I met this guy, that all of this happened. Even my brother going in prison, because my brother went to prison for like stupid things, drugs, selling drugs. And I feel that was God's way of telling him, slow down, you're gonna get yourself in more trouble. Maybe he was gonna get killed or whatever. It's a bad way, like it's a bad road to go down when you're selling drugs or whatever, just being criminal. And my brother is a smart guy. He went to college, done his studies. He's doing his bachelor right now. So life changed, and I'm so happy because my family is so happy right now, seeing me becoming the person I always wanted to be, and I just want to take care of my whole family. And I think in a few years' time, I'll be able to do so.
It's interesting because if your brother wasn't in court, you'd lost the match.
Yeah.
If your brother wasn't in court, if he didn't give that speech where he spoke about, obviously he was proud of you because you were taking this journey in boxing.
Yeah.
That solicitor wouldn't have seen you, wouldn't have known who you were.
Yes.
They wouldn't have come up to you and spoke to you.
Yeah.
And that journey...
I wouldn't be in Hamburg. I wouldn't have my manager.
Yeah, even though it's not nice circumstances for your brother, it's sort of like a twist of fate where because of what he believed in his heart, he spoke about, and then the opportunity presented itself. So yeah, that's quite an interesting story. But talk to us about your relationship with the UK.
Yeah, so let me start off by saying 2017, that was 1 year after I started boxing. I came to the UK because I wanted to see how UK boxing is like. And I've seen all the guys, obviously AJ, Tyson Fury on TV. and I knew UK boxing is different, it's strong. So I flew out to my uncle who lives in Manchester, and I stayed there for 3 months. And at the beginning, I was texting Lawrence Okoli on Instagram. So shout out Lawrence Okoli. He was texting me back. And I asked him, Lawrence, do you know any good gyms in Manchester? So he was sending me the contacts of Lyndon Arthur. And so I texted Lyndon on Instagram, and Lyndon hit me back, said Collyhurst Moston, ABC, pull up. So I went there the same day. It was like weigh-ins because they had a show, I think, coming up. And I went there, tall, skinny kid, 17. I went into the office. Everybody was looking at me. Went into the office and met Pat for the first time. And I just felt the aura. Like, he got very strong aura. Everybody respects him. And I was talking to him, and he saw something in me. And he told me, come train with the pros. So after 1 week, I was in the gym training with the pros. And I took so much experience out of that. But still, I was very young and immature. So I was missing my family after a couple of months, like going home, missing my family. And so I decided to go back to Germany in 2017 in April or May. And I went home and continued boxing, but it wasn't wholehearted still. But still, I kept in touch with Pat all the time, even after taking these losses. And when my brother went into prison, I was staying in contact with him because he's just a special person to me. Yeah.
So you come into the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You said you're tall, skinny kid. How did it go for the first time when you sparred with the pros? What was that like?
Well, the first time sparring with the pros, sorry, I just have to take a drink because my mouth is really dry.
Drink away.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's told me a story. I'm just going to see if you're going to tell me the same one.
Yeah, the first time sparring with the pros, it was like, I think it was late. It was like after 2 months because Pat saw that I was still a kid and still very unexperienced. So he wouldn't throw me into the ring with pros. But I'd done some partner work with Lyndon, and you could just feel like he was strong, solid, a man. I was still a kid. And I was sparring one kid from Pat back in the day, 91 kgs. And after 4 rounds or so, Pat said, stop, you're not even fit. What are you sparring for? He was shouting at me. It's like, next day, you're going to, or next time you're going to come into my gym, you're going to be fit in front of everybody. And that changed something in my head already. But I was still very young. So I went home, and I actually, the same evening, I started doing sprints and doing conditioning work because I knew I had to change something. And they don't play boxing over there. So yeah, I sticked on it. I've been doing my thing. And it was just, yeah, being too young still, because I'm pretty sure I would have been a great fighter today if I stayed in the UK, because Pat is such a good coach, such a good trainer, such a good mentor. But I feel like I had to go through everything that I had been through, that I've been through, just because the person I am today is such, I don't want to sound cocky, but I'm so happy for the person I am today, because I've learned a lot in these last few years.
Well, talk to me about the last few years, because, you know, I've had a look at your social media.
Yeah.
I've seen that you've been sparring with Deontay Wilder. I've also seen you more recently with Anthony Joshua in the UK. I'm not asking you to go into detail, as I'm sure that you won't, but talk to me about those experiences you've had with those high-level, elite, high-level professional boxers, professional heavyweight boxers.
Yeah.
World champions.
World champions. Been in there with 2 world champions already, and I'm only 22. Only at 13 amateur fights. So that's crazy. But yeah, I've been sparring pros ever since I came into Hamburg. So we have strong guys over there. Peter Kadiro, he's youth Olympic champion 2014. He's a pro now, 10-0. Other kids, very strong heavyweight group over there. You guys have to check them out. So for me, it was like I felt ready because I've been in there with great pros and they strong. But of course, it's different level when you go spar with a world champion. So me going to the States, flying over there alone to Alabama, go see Deontay Wilder in person, it was just like unreal. Felt unreal. I seen him in the gym, and I thought to myself, is that real? But just I just stayed being myself, and I was talking to him before I sparred him, and he was just like, "Yeah, speak it, believe it, receive it." That's what he always says. And um, I went into the ring. I was so nervous before. I can't lie. It was just like a fight because they told me when you spar Deontay, watch yourself. You don't go light in sparring. So I was nervous, but I've been doing my thing, and they were very happy for having me in camp. After the first spar, Mark Breland was looking at me like, and I remember this till this day. So, yeah,
To this
great
day.
till
Sorry.
this day.
I had to throw that in there.
I
Sorry.
had to throw it in. Nice. It was a great experience, and now being in London for the past few weeks, getting to know AJ, it's crazy still because he's a big inspiration for me. He's like an idol. Comes from Nigeria, like my father. So
Commonalities.
yeah, I'm just looking up to him, because he's a great champion. The way he's treating people, normal people, is just crazy. You can learn a lot from him, and it's like one of my inspirations, Muhammad Ali. The way he's been treating people, what he's been doing to for the public. So I was happy meeting AJ, and he's such a respectful guy. You wouldn't believe it. Like I can only say positive things about him and his dedication, the way he trains. I learned so much, and I'm gonna take all of that with me when I go to Germany, go to the gym, and I feel so motivated right now. Yeah.
So you've mentioned that you've had 13 amateur bouts so far.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do next?
Well, that's a good question because I still haven't made my mind up for like 100%. I'm probably looking to turn pro soon, and will maybe turn back to an amateur when the 2024 Olympics are coming up, because they're in Paris, and that would be a great market to win a gold medal.
Okay.
And I always had the dream of fighting for Olympic medal because my biggest idol was Muhammad Ali. When I was a kid, I was fighting my second fight. And afterwards, kids were coming up to me saying, "You look like Muhammad Ali when fighting." And I was 91 kg back then. I was moving my legs, and I kind of looked like him when he was younger. It was just, so it was crazy to hear that because I took loads of, like, a lot of inspiration from Muhammad Ali. Yeah, and let me get to that as well, because I have big dreams. I don't just want to become a champion. I want to become great. I want to be an all-time great. I want to change the world. It sounds crazy, but I have big dreams, and I believe God is putting everyone on this world for a purpose, like for a reason. We all have purpose. We got to do something in life, and I feel like my purpose is to change the world. It sounds crazy, but I feel like there's too much stuff going on in this world that's bad. And what Muhammad Ali has done back in the day is give people hope, give young people, black people in general, give them hope. He was telling the United States government, "No, I'm not going to war with the Vietnam people. They're not calling me niggers."
To me.
He was saying that, and back in the day, that was crazy because no one was saying anything against the government, and that gave so much people hope and made them realize what a real man should be like, standing up for his hopes, for his beliefs, and that's what I want to do. I want to give people hope. I want to change the situation in Africa. Like, when I see pictures of kids starving or having nothing to drink, that just makes me feel so empty. And I want to change that. I want to start in Nigeria, then go all over Africa, and then all over the world. So I have big dreams, and I believe when you have big dreams and pure intentions, God is going to help you. So the way God helped me already, opening the doors with my brother, even it was a bad thing.
Through adversity.
Yeah, but it just made me stronger, and it shows me I'm on the right track, because all the stuff I'm going through, meeting the people I've been meeting now, the people God leads into my life, that just shows me I'm on the right track. And I'm always praying for, like, God, please lead me on the right track, because sometimes you just get off track. But you gotta keep praying, gotta keep believing, and I think God will deliver all the time.
Well said. Well said. Wow. Some
Yeah.
strong words.
Yeah.
Some very, very strong words.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you a question
Yes, ask me.
to close.
Mhm.
Are you going to stay in Germany, or are you going to move to the UK?
That's a good question. Well, I still have to talk to my management in Germany, and I still have to talk to my head coach in Germany as well, because he's doing a great job with me. So we just have to see. I feel like when you can take different stuff and add it up together, you can get something great. And as I said, I want to become great. So I feel like taking stuff that I'm learning in Germany from my coach over there and adding stuff that I could learn over here with Pat or other people, I feel like that would be a perfect mix. So we just got to see what we're going to do now. And about fighting professional, of course I want to fight in Germany because I'm born there, but I feel connected to the UK as well. So if there's a good offer, I'll be down to fight in the UK and promote myself over here as well. So we could promote myself in Germany and promote myself in the UK. And once I've reached that level, promote myself in the United States as well, and then go all over the world. But that's far away still. We gotta start slowly.
Yeah.
Take our time.
It's good to have a strategy, though.
Definitely.
It's good to have a plan.
Yes.
Because maybe our viewers will ask, and it's a question that's just come into my head. We have a saying in the UK that too many chefs spoil the broth, spoil the food. So you've got a management and a coach in Germany.
Yes.
You've got Pat over here, who you've known for a long time, and you've also made connections with other coaches as well. Yet at the moment you're pulling ideas and skills and advice from all of them.
Yeah.
And probably it's a bit early to ask, but if you was to choose, if somebody says, okay, I don't know, say maybe you have 10 more amateur fights, you want to get a little bit more experience under your belt, the choice is yours, you may not have any. But say, for example, you go up to 23 fights and you say, yeah, okay, maybe I'm not going to go for the Olympics, I'm going to turn over pro. What type of coach does Emanuel need for him to become a world champion?
That's a great great question. And I feel like that's a bit hard to answer still, because I haven't fought a fight with any other coach in my corner than my coach in Hamburg right now, and we're doing a good thing over there. So it would be unfair to say I feel like another coach would turn me into a world champion and he not, because I feel like he's gonna turn me into a world champion.
Because he's built you from the start.
Yeah, he believed in me first. Like Pat was believing in me as well. Remember 2017, I was only boxing for 1 year. He looked me dead in my eyes and told me after like 2 months, he told me, listen kid, you got something special. You're gonna be a world champion. And I remembered it till this day. And it's funny because now I've heard because Pat's word, Pat as a man, like his word is very, very special. And he's not throwing things out just to say.
He doesn't say things for the sake of it.
And I've heard he said that same thing to Tyson Fury. And you see what Tyson Fury is right now. So that means so much to me still. And I have a special connection with Pat. So I'm definitely going to link up with him fighting in the professional ranks. But it's just about, keeping a good team. Because sometimes you have what you said is you have too much chefs, too much coaches, and they would like destroy the fighter because they have different ideas.
Absolutely.
It just has to mix as well. Because what AJ has done now after his defeat, he brought in two new coaches, Angel Fernandez and Joby.
Mm-hmm.
So he was having Rob in his corner before, Rob McCracken, and he's still in his corner, but they just added stuff. And you see where that took AJ. His boxing is on a different level right now. So I feel like if you add stuff, you can have something great as well. So I wouldn't say I had to decide for one coach. I feel like you can have 3 great coaches as well, as long as they get along.
I was about to say, it needs to be practical.
Yeah.
It needs to work.
It needs to make sense. And that's what I have to put my mind through and just make my make thoughts, like go through it in my mind and see what's going to be the best for me, because like, you can make mistakes in doing any decision in life. So just have to take your time and do the right decision. Yeah, but I feel like I said before, God is going to lead me the right way. So whatever decision I'm going to make, I feel like it's going to be right because God is with me. And yeah, that's basically it.
So I know you've been up here for a short amount of time. You're going back to Germany soon. So when can we expect to see you in the UK again?
I'm probably going to be coming into camp with AJ for the next fight. So I'll be in the UK in like 1 or 2 months, I guess. Just depends on when the fight is going to happen. But yeah, that's basically it. And after that, I think I'm going to come regularly because I like the way the UK works in boxing. It's just solid kids all over the gym, Collyhurst Moston. I see every kid is serious. In Germany, you have some gyms where like people are just doing it to stay fit or whatever. But over here, boxing is serious. They don't play around, and I like that mentality. So yeah, I'll probably be back soon.
Thank you very much. Well, we look forward to you coming back. Thank you for coming over here in the first place. Everyone, all the viewers, thank you. Emmanuel, you tell me your surname.
Odiase.
Odiase, because I'm
you got it right.
You
just nailed it. It's cool. Yeah. I appreciate you for taking the time and listening to my story.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you for listening to the Black Flash Boxing channel. We'll speak to you soon.